All right. Okay, confirmed. Our stream is rolling. All right, here we go. This is Wolfpack, World War II simulation game here. You're a submarine, and your job is to sink enemy merchant ships and cruise liners. They are supplying the Allied forces with supplies. So we're going to go ahead and press the play button. It takes us here to this lobby. Looks like there's somebody in there. We're going to create our own lobby here. New lobby. Let everyone see it. That's fine. I'm going to put in a little password. So play by myself here. Create lobby. My couple friends I do have on this game, they know the password so they can join me if they wish. What we're going to do is we're going to take this wind speed down to 1. If it's really windy, seas get rough. It makes it so that's a difficulty setting. Makes it harder. We're also going to change off skirmish. We're going to go to the tutorial because I've been watching videos trying to learn some stuff today. Well, I guess it takes away the wind speed, doesn't it? All right, enable bots. Yes, we're going to have our bots. Simplified radio. I'll just do that because. And that's it. We're going to leave all these torpedo settings fine, and we're not going to have them change direction or use sonar or chase us for a long time. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the mission and start the game. It's going to load it. So here the mission is just to learn how to use the torpedo system here. Alright, so let's continue. Alright, we get to pick our boat. You have 4 boats to pick from. The 96, the 552, the 564, or the 307. And I'm getting these numbers from the top left corner up here. Each of them have a different little emblem on them. And for this one, we'll go ahead and we'll just get in the U-96. I'll hit join crew. It makes me the captain. And you see my wife while we're on vacation. Alright, and this is our torpedo loadout. Okay, and it tells us our torpedo speeds. And I don't quite know what the magnet on and off is yet, but we'll figure it out. New to this game, trying out some stuff I learned on video. Start the mission. Alright, let's go ahead and left click, climb ladder. And we're going to get on the attack periscope. And we're currently on the surface. Hit W to raise the periscope and take a look around. And right there we are. We're already here. So there's one boat, there's a boat, and there's a boat. This guy, so there's the bow of my ship right there. And that guy's over there to the right. So let's just turn. And we're almost 90 degrees with him. So I'm going to turn 90 degrees. So I'm going to press number 1 on my keyboard. It brings up all these overlays. I'm going to go ahead and come down here in the corner. I'm going to type in 90, enter. And I'm going to go ahead and come up here and hit shift. I'm pressing shift while I click diesel engines up here. But I'm pressing and holding shift, and that does them both. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to hit go ahead and let's pick up great speed. Now, you should hear my engines kicking up. And a quick walk around the screen. Up here in the top left, you have your torpedo information. I'm always going to be using my attack periscope, so I'm going to change that from attack periscope. Observation periscope, the Uzo, which is like the binos up on the deck, or off. Well, I'm going to switch it to AP because I'm always on my attack periscope. And we're on torpedo 1. That's fine. Here's the torpedoes. The light indicates that they are ready. Alright, target length, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm just on a single torpedo. Target depth, we'll talk about that in a moment. Target speed, talk about that in a moment. Down here is the distance. From 3 to 10, those are hundreds. So it's 300, 400, 500, 600, and so forth. So then you hit 1 kilometer, 1.5, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, all the way up to 10 kilometers. Okay. And then angle on bow. This is if you are standing on the enemy's ship looking at us relative to their ship, what is our angle? So, for instance, if I get rid of my overlay and I look at that boat over there, so he's 330, so that's 10, 20, 30, so he's 30 degrees on my left side. So if the enemy is to try to get angle on bow on me, it would be 30 degrees bow left. Okay, he is currently bow right to me, and we know that because there's the bow of his boat. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try some stuff I learned in this video yesterday, bring up my overlay, and you know what, I want to go ahead and I want to hit dead slow. And I'm going to, matter of fact, I hope dead slow is even slow enough. Alright, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, first, let's identify this boat. Alright, how do we identify this boat? First, we're going to hit the letter C. Now, sometimes it might pause and lock up if it's your first game of the day and you haven't had it open. My computer's a little slow, I guess. It has to think about it. But I haven't touched any key, just I hit C one time. I imagine it'll come back. There it is. Alright, so here it is. I'm going to go ahead and come up here to the top left. I'm going to pick Recognition Manual, and I'm going to pick Merchant Ships. Okay, and I'm going to put my thumb on C and my finger on Escape, and hit Escape and look at that boat. If you look at the hull design, the hull being the black section of the boat, has a high spot in the back, dips down, has a high spot in the front. Well, if it had a high spot in the middle also, well, those are called islands. Alright, we're also looking at the superstructure on the ship, which is like where the bridge is. If you notice, the bridge is up there, but yet the smokestack is back here, so they're not together. And then if you also notice these things here, they look like football goal posts. Those are called kingpins. Every other ship has what's called masts, or every other thing is called a mast. So looking at this ship, it has 3 different styles, but that's a mast, and a mast. And it has an island in the front, it dips down, an island in the middle, and then the back is flush. And there's the superstructure separated from the smokestack. Alright, let's go ahead and go after our target one though. This is going to be the one we target. Alright, so now that we've talked about the masts, kingpins, superstructure, and hull design, now let's go ahead and hit C. That brings us up. We've hit Recognition Manual. Engine placement. Where was the engine? It's on the aft side. So now we're starting to filter our choices. Superstructure. Ours was split. It wasn't together, meaning that the building wasn't with the funnel. Islands. I forgot already what ours had, so I'm going to go back. Ours has an island front and an island rear. So press C, so take away mid. Alright, and now masts. Let's go ahead and look at ours. Ours has no mast, but it's kingpin. And you always start at the front of the boat, the bow, working your way towards the rear. Okay, and it goes kingpin, kingpin, funnel. So KKF. That's what that boat is. So let's hit C, and let's come here to here. We're going to type in KKF, enter. Heavy tanker type 12. Seems to be our only choice. We're going to give it a good look. Alright, got some railing there. We have the house up front, the 2 king posts, funnel in the back. Pretty cut and dry. So I believe that this is our ship here, heavy tanker type 12. So we're going to hit add that to our identified ships list. Now that we've added this to our identified ships list, a little bit of information we're going to write down from here. 3 things I write down: length, draught, mast height. So we're looking at 150, draught is 5, mast height 28. Alright, I've just written that down. Alright, escape. Alright, now that we know that, so 150, I'm going to press the letter E on my keyboard. Now that I press the letter E on my keyboard, if you look at that table that it just brought up, it says vertical distance table, and then the first number you see underneath there says 10 meters. Well, we need to increase that 10 meters, so we're going to go to our arrow buttons on our keyboard, and we're going to hit the right arrow. There's 20, hit the right arrow. There's 30. So your left and right arrows do 10 meter increments. Your vertical arrows, we're going to come down, 29, 28. The mast height is 28. So what are we going to do? We're going to come over here to our vertical scale. We're going to place our horizontal line right where the ship meets the water. And I'm going to press, and if you notice it's a bit rocky, so I'm going to try to get over there, press and hold left click. That steadies the periscope. And I'm going to try to get my best reading there. And it looks to me to be about 60. So 6 hash marks, okay? So I look at my scale and it says 17.1. So that means 1,710 meters. 1,710 meters. And relative of me, he's at a 330. So 1,700 meters at 330 degrees relative. So let's jump to my map real quick. And I'm going to draw a line from my ship on my course, which is 90 degrees. So it didn't draw the line. Let me try that again. There, I just drew a line. Alright, so it's not even on 90 degrees, is it? Let me try that again, because I know that I'm going 90 degrees. So as close to 90 as I can. Good enough, 90.1. Goodness, that's hard to do. Alright, there's 90 degrees. Alright, now let me jump back off my map again. I hit M for map. So looking at him again, about the middle of the ship there, he's at 330, and we've determined his distance to be 1,700 meters, which is very close. So he's even closer than that. He's even 60 something. So he's 1650. Let's say that he's 1650. So let's go ahead and plot a line now. And I'm going to press spacebar to put 0 at my heading. I'm going to go 1650 on a 330. Let me go ahead and zoom in. There's 330. And I'm going to take that 330 line out. About right there, 1630, close enough. I'm going to draw an X. So that's where I believe he is. Okay. Now, we don't know what his course is. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to determine his course by doing that again here in a moment. So we're continuing to travel along our line. He's continuing to travel along whatever his line is. All right. And we're going to gear it. We're kind of getting close to him. So I might even have my guy just stop for a moment. I might switch to electric engines just because they're slower. So I am going to stop for a moment. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to try to determine his speed. So how do we do that? All right, remember the measurements we took from him. We know that he's 150 meters long, 28 meters high. So I'm going to put first let me check my speed. Alright, I'm slowing down. Right, let me just do this for a moment and bump my engines. Alright, we're going 0. Now we're going 0. Putting my finger on my T on my keyboard. I'm going to come to the front of his boat and I press and hold my mouse, left click again, and click. As soon as his bow touched my vertical line, I hit the T on my keyboard. That starts a timer. Now the most accurate measurement is when you are 90 degrees to his side. But if you notice those king posts, we see 4 of them. So we know that we're not at 90 degrees of him. Right? He's slightly angled away from us. We could tell that because when we look at those 4 posts, it looks like the post on the right is ahead of the one on the left. So he's angled kind of away from us. But here in the tutorial, they don't react to our presence. That's how come we're so close. Now, as soon as his bow crosses my vertical line, I'm going to hit T again. and you'll see the stopwatch there in the bottom right. It'll stop, and then we'll do math. So coming up to it, here it comes, and T. So 58.82. So let's go ahead and do the math for this. And our math is going to be 150, so his length, divide by 58.82 seconds times 1.94. And that equals 4.94 knots. So 4.94 knots. At least that's what I have him at, 4.94. Let me just write that down for a moment. All right, 4.94. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and what we're going to do next is we're going to take another bearing here. We're going to say, all right, he's close to 70, so he's 1,500 meters away at 1,500 at 343. 1,500 at 343. So map, draw a line from me. He's 343. Where's my 343 line? 1,500 meters. Right there. And I'm going to put an X there. I'm going to go ahead and erase the lines. I'm going to draw a line on him. So it looks like he is on this azimuth, but I'm going to go ahead and erase that for a moment. Oh, that didn't erase at all. Let me try that again. Erase. I'm going to turn on my speed. We've determined him to be going 4.9 knots. Let's take that to about 5 knots. And now let's draw a line. So his speed is, there he goes, he's headed that direction. So it looks like he's on an azimuth of 143.7. Okay, so maybe a 144 azimuth, a 144. So we're kind of running into him there. All right, so if he's on 144, then you know what I'm going to try to do? Maybe I'm just going to go ahead. Now let's go ahead and take a shot. We'll take the shot. I was going to parallel him and do something else because I got some experimenting I want to do. Well, let's go ahead and we know all the information that we need to know about him at the moment. So we know he's going 4.9 knots. So let's get a range here. He is, 60. So he's 1,700 meters away. 1,700 meters at 351. 1,700 meters at 351. He's probably a lot closer than that. Tell you what, let's just check our measurements, see how we're doing. There. So he's 1,840 meters away, and we have a 140-degree angle on bow. Let me redo my measurement here. So 355 at range. Just a little over 50. So also he's at 2,000. About 2,000. 2,000 at 354. All right, map 2,000, 354. Let me turn this off. Draw a line. 254. That doesn't look right, does it? Did I do that right? Let's see. Yeah, just about, huh? So let's see, are we close? Yeah, we're close. Alright, we're close. Plus he's moving, right? Alright, let's go ahead and let's take a shot on him. 2-1. Distance to target, let's go 2,000. Angle on bow, he's back here like 140. Right? How do we get that 140? Well, we're going to take his basic line that he's on, and maybe we need to put 0 on him. And how many degrees is it on that protractor to our angle? Right? So let's go ahead and just hurry up and take the shot, because I've stopped too long and been talking too much. Alright, number 1, getting away from us, 2,000 plus. Alright, torpedo depth, he is 5, so we're going to go to 4 meters. Alright, and let's go ahead and aim at him and shoot a torpedo. I want to know his course, so I'm going to try to so I thought his course was a 144. So I'm going to try to get his course. See, how close was I? .125 is his actual course. Maybe 126. So now we know that his course is 126. I think I'm going to pick up a 126. Number 1, let's get parallel to him. 126.